Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of In the School Parking Lot. I'm your host. I'm Paul Everts. You can reach me at my email address, and I wish you would. It's BAND, the number 2 together, bandtogether at Comcast.net. Go to the website, Conducting My Life, which you can see I'm a book. Not a book, but I'm a publisher. I'm an author of a book. There you go. I'm an author of a book, Conducting My Life. Would love you to get that book. I'm available also to be a speaker, trainer, coach. If you couldn't tell by the introduction so far. Ooh, what a speaker. Anyway. Speaker, trainer, coach, work for the Maxwell team. Would love to come out and be with your group, you as an individual, school, church, business. I'm a funny guy. Yeah, I'm conservative, and I'm okay. I'm a dude. Give me a chance. We'll have a good time. All right, there you go. Just to, again, introduce myself. I'm a high school teacher. That's now teaching middle school, actually. Music. Been a music teacher since 1989. On October the 6th, 2021, I was told by HR of my district that you cannot say I love you to your students anymore because you're weird that way. And I just said, what? You can't say I love you to my students? Oh, and the other thing is we don't want you to use social media anymore because it's embarrassing and it's triggering. It's triggering. Of course, the same person that said that, April of 2021, said, Paul, I hate to tell you this, you got to leave Jesus Christ in the parking lot. I'm done. So I retired 3 years early, and we'd love to have your support too. There's a Venmo account that you can check out. So what I'm doing is I'm presenting stories now. This is our 15th episode. It's our 15th week. Generally put them out on Saturdays. Today is June the 15th, and we are working out of this book. And all I'm doing now is just highlighting chapters from the book. I hope you would read this book by Alex Newman and Samuel Blumenfeld. It's a good book. But right now, we start with news. What's in the news? California teachers could hide students' gender identities from parents under proposed law. One more time. California teachers could hide students' gender identities from parents. Not any parents. The students' parents. From under proposed law. Sacramento, California. A coalition of California lawmakers is seeking to ban school districts' policies requiring teachers to notify parents of their children's gender identity. Assembly member Chris Ward, Democrat. Are you Democrat? Please. Wait, what? What? Please? No. San Diego. Along with the California Legislative LGBTQ Caucus, introduced the Support Academic Futures and Educators for Today's Youth Act. That's cool, man. That's clever. Safety Act. Doing the safety dance. Wednesday. The legislation, if passed, would prohibit school districts from implementing forced outing policies, as well as prevent districts from retaliating against staff who refuse to share a student's gender identity with their parents. Additionally, the bill would require parents and students be provided with resources to navigate conversations around gender and identity on their own terms. Teachers should not be the gender police and violate the trust and safety of the students in their classrooms, Assembly Member Ward said. Chris, could be she, I don't know. Anyway, Chris Ward said, also, parents should be talking to their children. Thank you, government, telling me how to do this. Okay, and the decision for a student to come out to their family members should be on their own terms. The bill follows at least 7 excuse me. I'm just shocked by the whole thing. All right, here we go. The bill follows at least 7 California school districts adopting parental notification policies over the last year. California Attorney General Rob Bonta, sued the Chino Valley Unified School District in August over its implementation of such a policy, calling the practice detrimental to the well-being of the LGBTQ plus students. End of quote. Bonta has also publicly condemned multiple other school districts for their policies, including the Temecula Valley Unified School District. The Safety Act drew the support of California State Superintendent of Public Instruction. And go ask Mr. Thurman how many classes he's taught, how long his career was in education. and yet he's now the superintendent of public instruction. I would encourage you to look at his resume. Tony Thurman said it affirms families, quote unquote, affirms families. Ability to handle family matters at home without school employees being forced to intervene. Tony adds, the Safety Act will allow our teachers to focus on teaching academic skills, not on policing gender identity. Wow, I'm thinking about that now. If only that was 100% true, that you could teach academic skills. Let me give you an example of what an academic skill. We're going to learn how to use punctuation. Let's say we're going to learn how to use commas. And we're going to have a paragraph about, I don't know, Marxism. It's not the content, Mr. Parent. Mr. Parent, we're learning how to do commas. Why are you stuck on the content? This is an academic skill, sir. And policing gender identity. I don't. What about people who really know that there is male and female? Why are they now wrong, Mr. Thurman? Why does a teacher have to be compelled to use the pronouns that don't match the biological identity? Are we supposed to be doing academic skills? Okay. And this, it just fries me. What fries me the most is keeping secrets from parents. And I would love to know how many of these people, maybe Chris Ward has 7 children and has been married for 35 years. Chris, you're okay with the school not telling you what's going on with your children? I've also had a question on my Facebook for a while to my teacher colleagues. And hopefully they're still friends, but they don't talk to me much anymore. If your child was going through a gender issue and your colleagues didn't tell you about it, you wouldn't be upset, hurt, confused where you stand with your colleagues? Think about the parents then. The final thing for this is that Thurman was escorted out of the July school board meeting where Chino Valley approved its parental notification policy after attending to raise concerns over student safety impacts. Chino Valley School Board President Sonia Shaw accused Thurman of proposing things that pervert children before he was led away. The rest of the article, of course, is in the description of today's episode. Let's go to Crimes of the Educators, Samuel Blumenfeld and Alex Newman. We are not working hard because I only got a couple minutes, but right brain versus left brain, how to avoid dyslexia. We did that last week. That was last week's chapter. So let's go to chapter 9. Edward Miller proved that the sight method causes dyslexia. What? Dr. Seuss. I think killing phonics was one of the greatest causes of illiteracy in the United States. Back in 1973, after completing my book, The New Illiterates, and that would be Samuel Blumenfeld, the new book is called The New Illiterates, 1973. It's almost 50 years ago, over 50 years ago, actually. Became convinced that the sight method of teaching reading could cause dyslexia. That is, the inability to see the phonetic structure of our alphabetically written words. Without having been taught the alphabetic principle and drilled in the letter sounds, it was impossible for a child to see something he or she did not know existed. The book again is called The New Illiterates. It was written and published over 50 years ago. By 1844, the defects of this new teaching method were so apparent that the Boston schoolmasters issued a blistering attack against it. Of course, this is the sight reading method. and urged a return to the traditional alphabetic phonics method of teaching reading. I reprinted that critique in my book to demonstrate how early the defects of the sight method were recognized by responsible educators who were not seduced by the siren songs of the reformers. And again, that's 1844. Flippin' A. All right. Here's another thing. It was by reading an excerpt from Rudolph Fletcher's book, Why Johnny Can't Read, in a newspaper in 1956, that Miller learned there were two ways of teaching reading, the phonetic way and the look, say, or sight way. He realized that he had been taught by the sight method and had adjusted his reading handicap in as successful a way as possible. But it was not until 1986 that Miller decided to investigate the matter of dyslexia further. His grandson, Kevin, then in the first grade, had developed a reading problem. In his grandson's pain and suffering, he saw a duplicate of himself. He knew that Kevin had learned to read by the sight method because the boy could read his little sight vocabulary books rapidly. But when it came to the little phonetic books that Miller had given him, Kevin, the grandson, had extreme difficulty. Miller could see that his grandson was trying to guess the words. The process of sounding out the words was too painful. And I need to wrap it up because we're over 11 minutes now, so I apologize. So let's just get to the end, because I like to read the end of the chapter. Please buy the book, though. Please, please, please buy the book. Give it to a teacher. Ed Miller died in July 2010. Ed Miller enters the pantheon of those unsung heroes who have provided humanity with the means to improve their lives, and in particular the lives of school children. That is not what can be said of those who, as professional educators, continue to inflict pain and suffering on the most vulnerable of our citizens. This deliberate dumbing down of American children must stop. That's pretty strong. Okay, next week will be the victims of educational malpractice. Join us. Thanks a lot. Again, we have a Venmo account. That's in the description as well. We'd love to have your financial support. I am appreciating the increased viewership. Please subscribe, share, press the like button in the YouTube so then this can go further out. I'm learning. I'm a grandpa, not that savvy with the social media stuff. For gosh sakes, this is on my cell phone in my man cave. You want to help me? Send me an email. Let's help this thing grow. Check out Grandpa's Story Hour too. Love you guys. God bless.